privileged. We are extremely privileged that we are going to have the best mindset coach come and speak in front of us. His name is Rahul Kapoor Jain. He has traveled all over the world, more than 500 clients, over 300,000 people have learned from him. In the next 6 minutes, he's going to mesmerize and he's going to inspire you like anything, and you will do life in next 6 minutes. Rahul Kapoor Jain, come on over.
Let's get started. Good evening. I'm one here, more than 600,000, about 1,200 people have been said. Let's just go ahead and let's do this again. Good evening. One last time, give me the best that you can give. Age, no bar, designation, no bar, qualification, no bar. I want you to have fun, bar, and give me the loudest that you can. Good evening. That's exactly what's happening in India right now. We are now unstoppable because suddenly there is this entire phenomena of understanding who we are and what we are capable of doing. Let me share a story with you. First 2 minutes. A story of a mother and her 3 children. The mother asks her first child to go with 10 rupees in hand, pick up some oil so she can cook food in the house. He picks up a bottle, he goes into the market, he gets oil as he's coming. He trips over, half the oil from the bottle is out. He picks up the other half, he comes back home, he tells his mother, I'm so sorry. I was coming and I fell down, I lost half the oil. Mom says it's okay, but the boy is now telling himself and telling mother that I'm such a terrible boy, I can't do a small job well. He beats himself down, doesn't eat food that night or that day. It's a story, so the second day the mother asks the second son to go, you know the story, 10 bucks, get the oil. He goes, as he's coming, he falls down. Half the oil spills over, he picks up the other half, comes back home excited and he says, Mom, guess what? I was coming and I tripped, I actually lost half the oil in the bottle, but I was so alert and I just picked up the other half and I came back. I just love myself, Mom, I just love it. The first boy was negative, the second positive. If I were to ask you, choose between the two, whom would you like to be? It's a no-brainer, you'll say positive, but the story is not done with. The third day, the mother asks the third boy to go, and don't worry, there are only 3 children in the story, so it's going to end soon. You go bring the oil, and the boy goes. It's a story, so anything can happen in the story. He drops the oil, he comes back home, he tells his mom, I'm so sorry, I was coming, and I just dropped the oil, Mom. What time are you going to cook? Mom says, 12 o'clock. He says, it's 10 now, don't start until I come back. Mom says, where are you going? He says, I have 2 hours, Mom. I'm going to go out, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to earn the money, and I'm going to make sure you have the bottle full in your hand. The first boy was negative. Second, positive. Third is realistic. Now, how would you like to be? That's exactly what's happening in this country called India. Gone are those days when you're going to sit and keep telling what's not working in our country. Gone are the days when we are just going to be complacent and positive and telling ourselves, oh, we're happy with what we have. This new India is talking about the potential that we have and the potential that we tapped and the potential that is being tapped as well. That's why I say now unstoppable. But the question is how? What makes us this? Not negative, not positive, but realistic. What makes us? This is the India that we know of, the rural India, the massive rural India. The question is, what are you going to do to integrate them? We tried doing things for the last 7 decades or more. But the new India says we know how to do it. We don't have to worry about this. And this is what's happening in the new India. You can be in the village that you want to be. And the village now converts into all the facilities of the town and the cities. And ladies and gentlemen, I now call this inclusive growth. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Now that's unstoppable. Next, this is a man called Anand Kumar. 6 times he has won the election. He's won the elections from the South constituency of Bangalore, where I come from. When he passes away, what do you expect? His wife to take over. But the new India says no. The new India says wife can stay, for we don't believe in family politics anymore. And from that same city, they pick up a 28-year-old boy who has been with BJP, wins the election, becomes India's youngest MP. Ladies and gentlemen, now you can put your hands together because I call that now unstoppable. Now, This is the country which talks about Saraswati Ma, Lakshmi Ma, Padmavati Ma, Annapurneshwari Ma. But we've been talking about all of this in terms of our scriptures and in our temples. But now is the time for us to experience the new India, who goes and chooses the president of our nation, who then becomes the ray of hope for the poor, marginalized and downtrodden. This is not just a talk about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. This is action for you to know. And I call that now unstoppable. This is not working, it is. I know you're clapping. I'm done with 4 minutes. I have 3 more to go. This is the startup culture that you were talking about some time ago, Mr. Modi. For Amazon we have a Flipkart. For Uber that you have, we have an Ola. For the Airbnb we have the Oyo, and we keep going on. You spoke about $1 billion. Now that's been created by the youth of the India, and I call that the power of the youth, now unstoppable. Let's talk about this. Why is it that the youth doesn't want to go out of India anymore? Why is there no brain drain? There is a reverse brain drain. Why? Because India believes and understands to keep the youth, we'll have to keep this country clean. Swachh Bharat. We'll have to not have numbers in terms of human beings. Everybody needs to have an identity. Aadhaar. It talks about making an India and making us proud to be making an India and using an India and then supplying to the world. And your presentation spoke about that. Digital India, combining everybody together and making things possible in India in terms of ease of business. And what does that do? In just 30 years, we move away our Sensex from 5,000 to 60,000. And I now call that, ladies and gentlemen, keeping the focus right in one place for growth. And that is now unstoppable. With my 2 minutes to go, we don't need copyrights of anything. You keep the copyrights. But you know, we've always been quiet talking about our things. And here comes a man who says, let's create an International Yoga Day. No copyright. International Yoga Day. I do yoga, you do yoga, and guess what happens? Everybody does yoga. We don't need copyrights for you. We know what original stuff is and where does it stay. Now that is what I call taking care of yourself and the entire world. Now that's unstoppable. You come into my country and you kill people. And earlier we used to say, oh, let's go take help from other nations. We now don't say that. We say, you come, sure you do. We're going to come back into your place and we're going to give you what you deserve. Now that's new India. Come on, let's clap for that. That makes us unstoppable. Now this is our emblem. And then people say, okay, that's the emblem. We're going to create this one. And everybody says, oh, there's a controversy. How can you make the lion roar louder? You just say, hang on, we're not doing anything like that. We're just making him bigger. Now the mouth becomes bigger. That's not my problem. Controversy or no controversy. Indian generation. The people in India have never known that what is the significance of our emblem with the lion roaring. The intent is clear. And the intent is, we now roar bigger because we are now unstoppable. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, why are we going to remain to be a nation who's going to be unstoppable? You know why? Because Ashoka was created as the emperor, the best that he could be as he killed people. But he became even more greater, Ashoka the Great, when he realized that the real killing is not of the people outside, but the killing of the enemy inside. Krodh, man, maya, lobh, anger, deceit, greed, ego. And that's what keeps us grounded. And who keeps us grounded? The spiritual gurus who keep coming on, who keep coming on, who keep coming on decade after decade after decade after decade. And not just for us, but we're here to spread joy, peace, and happiness among everybody. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, what I call unstoppable. I have another 60 seconds to go. I want to challenge everybody over here. If you could now stand up with joy for being an Indian in America and celebrating Azadi ka Amrit Mohatsav. Let's just be on our feet and clap for 30 seconds so the message goes down to every single person. As you clap, let's cheer loud. Let's make some loud. Let's roar, for we are unstoppable. Can I have you to roar loud? And as you do that, I have my last 30 seconds. And that's all I have tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, close your eyes. Stand where you are and just close your eyes. In my last 30 seconds, I want to give you what I call the world's best gift. That which roots you into the culture and tradition of this country called India. Just keep your eyes closed. Give me my 30 seconds. I'll make your 30 seconds even more powerful ever. With your eyes closed, I want you to visualize your mother's face. The lady who kept you in her womb for 9 months. The lady who gave you uncompromising love whether you were right or wrong. The lady who always stood by you. Visualize your mother. She may be in this world, she may not be in this world. Feel her experience right now over here. I want you to visualize your father, the man who gave you food, shelter, education, got you into this world, taught you values and ethics. He may or may not be in this world, but visualize him right now. I want you to visualize your dad and mom. They may not be in this world, but I want you to feel, remember the time you learned to walk and you fell down many times, your parents were there to take care of you. Remember the time when you were unwell, your parents were awake for you all night. That's your source. That's what got you connected. And that's really what your identity is. I speak and there are tears rolling so many eyes. But stay right there as I now ask you to open your eyes. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about this great nation called India. But what comes from India is tradition and values. What comes from India is family first. What comes from India is our soul first. That's my message for all of you. Go where you want to go, but keep the India alive in you. For we are now unstoppable.
Thank you, Rahulji. You are really unstoppable. What a powerful speech, guys, right? अगर आप जैसे यूथ है तो इंडिया को कौन रोक सकता है, right? कोई नहीं रोक सकता हमको. बहुत ही खूब.
Once again, big round of applause for Rahul Kapoor Jain. What a powerful message to all of us. Our lives are going to be changed after listening to you.